Well, here we are, everyone. It is the almost lunchtime. It's 11 o'clock on Wednesday morning now. And we've had a bunch of interviews with different people. This is the first time, though, in this session. And yesterday and today, we're talking to a real live CEO and founder of a cybersecurity company. And we've got Nazar Tymoshyk, who is the CEO and founder of Under Defense. Nazar, welcome to the Cybertruck.
My pleasure, and enjoy.
It's going to be fun. You'll notice as we drive around, we're actually, for those that are listening in and know the area, we're driving past the W right now, and there's a lot of people milling around. We're going to get people pointing and waving and taking pictures and all sorts of things as we drive right past the Moscone here. Yesterday, someone gave me the finger. But,
oh, really?
Most times he'll wave at me.
Hate is a part of, recognition.
Trying to stand out. Some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it.
Yeah,
right?
Haters gonna hate.
When was your first RSA, Nazar?
I believe it was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It was big, I guess, as big as this year. Still, there wasn't that much, outside activities. It was nice. It was impressive, I believe this is the biggest gathering, DEFCON is a bigger one. But, if we speak about the business plus, vendors, so like all the commercial relationships, it is all here.
Yeah, for sure. And did you speak in 2017 or was this the first year you spoke at the RSA conference?
Yep. I was invited to share, experience fighting the Russians, APTs. This is, our specialty and our core experience. So we really know the enemy, their TTPs, their style, and it's important to connect the dots and understand that things that are going on in Ukraine so far are impacting the world, and the smart businesses learn from it. And it's valuable to integrate this experience in your day to day.
Yeah.
Because Russia is different from China, and they have a huge talent pool, really talented people who work on a dark side.
And do you live over here or do you live in Ukraine or do you live somewhere else? Where do you live?
It's a long story. I used to live in US for a while, but when COVID hits New York City, I moved back to Ukraine, and it was way easier during the COVID time, with all the restrictions, more flexibility. So I really enjoyed being there.
And what it seemed like since the Israeli war kicked off in October, we in the US haven't heard very much about what's been happening in Ukraine. It kind of, the narrative changed a little bit, right? What's your impression of where things are at over there?
Again, every, I love and respect Israel because, I found Under Defense after being in Israel and seeing the things that they are building, and, I realized, well, we can do the same, we have this, more resources, more smart people, we just don't do this their way. So, they really, figured out the path, and, many other countries can repeat this success.
Okay. What's your preference, RSA or BlackHat?
I would say rather, RSA, because BlackHat is very salesy and is even more focused on a commercial or let's say investor relationships rather than RSA. Okay. RSA bringing here, customers, speeches, rebuilding the relationships. There is no much innovation at RSA. Still, the community and cultures are here is, from my perspective, better.
Yeah. Yeah. But
DEFCON is a destination.
That's the one. Is that your real preference?
Yes, correct.
I've never been to DEFCON.
Oh, really? No.
Well, I've always been on the business side. I've been in the sales teams, things like that. And 20 years ago, you went to RSA, but you definitely didn't go to BlackHat. And then you definitely didn't go to DEFCON. And now BlackHat, you say, has become very commercial, but you don't go to DEFCON if you're a salesperson kind of thing. It's very interesting. So,
like from my own philosophy, every salesperson need to know well what they're selling.
yeah.
And if you are not in community, like you're just selling more, but you are not attentive to what actually your customer persona is looking for. Why they're asking this? Because, there's other vendors who actually, do the awareness and training for them. So you need to know in the same industry, you need to know, what engineers, their way of thinking. And this way, every sales can be successful if they, understand that behavior and motivation and what's going on in the industry.
And let's talk about that then. So if I was on the floor, the expo here at RSA conference, and I met you for the first time and I said, what does under defense do? How would you answer that question?
We stop breaches and automate compliance and security.
Okay, that covers a lot of things though. How do you do that?
We built the technology that allows us to integrate all the stack that customers have, because many companies, they already have something.
Let's say an enterprise has 60, 70 security tools.
Exactly, this is a problem, right? So usually the problem is that you need to watch all of them 24/7, so you need to have a multiple eyes. That's why Cisco have the product called 1,000 eyes.
Okay, yeah, they bought that, right?
Exactly. So the point is that your own team, your own people usually would can't handle this amount of alerts from various tools. So we build a SOAR kind of technologies that orchestrate and accumulate the data from various data sources. We work with SIEMs, we work with EDRs, we work with SaaS, and all the products that are available to actually have a right detections. And we build, the key thing is that it's not enough just to spot that there is attack, right? It's like in a healthcare. There is diagnosis. Well, we have a problem, and there is treatment. Usually the time, if you have early detection and early response, you can, have a, better recovery.
Right.
And this is a new philosophy that, every company can be hacked. The good companies are, ready to detect and respond and contain and eradicate quickly. The losers will spot the attack later on, or do you recall the Uber case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do you know what is the Uber IT budget?
No.
$200 million.
200 million.
Yes. So they pay, I don't recall, $2 million just for Slack.
Wow.
And it was a big case because malicious actor, and you can imagine with this spend, right?
Yeah.
It's $200 million for IT. Let's take a case. It's 20 million for security. These guys didn't have the internal 24/7 SOC. They really the malicious actor used social engineering to get into their network.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, he got access to the to AWS console, to SentinelOne console, to source code repositories, to all their untangible intellectual property and all intellectual IP. So the damage was huge, and attack wasn't spotted until the guy messaged in a general Slack channel about the breach.
Is that right? I didn't know that bit.
Oh, you should read the story.
Wow.
It's a very indicative, and this is the cool true case with plenty of screenshots from malicious actor. Wow. He was really very responsive to journalists, and he illustrated the story with the evidences.
Wow. I didn't know that bit.
So it means that every company can be hacked.
Yeah, of
Microsoft
course,
was hacked in December by Chinese APT. It's Microsoft, right? You know, they have everything. All the government agencies are using Microsoft. And then later on in January, they get hacked again by Russians. So it means that, you know, no one is immune, but readiness to detect and respond, you know, timely, you know, and you can imagine how much resources Microsoft have. How much resources Uber have.
Yeah.
Still, their cloud was breached, and they spotted the attack. They were able to respond. But you know, even a company like FireEye, do you recall December 2019, when the SolarWinds breach happened? You know, like FireEye was hacked.
Yeah.
Because of supply chain.
So it's not a matter of organizations being able to afford to buy tools and have people. It's how it all works together. That is
Obviously, it's people, process, tools.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have this combination, and to keep your team motivated, they need to have a fancy, cool cases. They, you know, if you just putting them, you know, on fire to, you know, process millions, you know, of forwards to find the needle in a haystack, it's boring, it's inefficient, and, you know, it is a cure for their motivation.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's really tough. What do you have a sales team right now, Nazar?
We have till 2022, it was one person. Now it is 8 people.
8 people, okay.
Yep.
And who do they sell to? What type of companies or organizations do they sell to right now?
Oh, we have, you know, do you recall that we spoke earlier about the ICP? So like our ideal customer is, you know, CTO of, you know, technology companies, who really seeking to, you know, be proactive, make sure that they wouldn't be breached, that they, you know, they have, investors, they have, you know, a big fish they wanted to, sign up, for their service or product. So they understand, and very often compliance is a big driver for them. That's why when you ask me, what do we do best? You know, I told you security and compliance.
Yeah. No, I get it. And when you look at your team, your 8 people for 2024, would you prefer that they get lots of opportunities, but at a lower dollar amount, or fewer opportunities at a higher dollar amount?
It's a good question. It's a question about GTM, and, you know, the thing is, it all depends. I would prefer rather, you know, lower, amount of deals, but with bigger checks. But this is like a classical strategy, right? So it means that your sales folks can focus more on serving customers better. Giving them more attention.
High quality experience.
Right. But the thing is that, you know, the industry, everyone are like, there is enterprise sales style. And in enterprise sales style, everyone are looking for that big fish. So like this guy is getting a lot of attention, and actually the other, segments of the businesses, they are struggling, because, you know, they don't have this attention, they feel abandoned, and, you know, like if they do not fit to this ICP, you know, usually it's hard for them to actually make the right choice because they can't evaluate it properly.
Right.
So what we built to solve this problem, our product, you know, have a free trial. There is freemium model as well. So like customers can, you know, like during the initial call, we encourage customers, you know, just to share their screen. It's the hardest part, and open our website where, you know, they can, you know, we use our website as a, let's say, as a deck, you know, to replace the decks. It's better to ask them to open this resource. You know, you can find here the answers to this and that. You know, it means that they are in control. And it's critical thing for me that our customers, you know, understand that they have a full control, full visibility, full coverage.
And how does the sales team, do they convert these free trials into
Yeah,
orders?
we have inbound and we have outbound. Like we have a lot of traction, to compliance part of the product, and also very niche and, specific, customers who are coming for, the MDR product, which is higher segment.
Okay. All right. Let's play a game, Nazar.
Wonderful.
Fizzle or sizzle. So will these things sizzle, i.e. they're hot and they're going to continue to be hot and they're going to grow and be important? Or are they going to fizzle where they just kind of in 1 year or 2 years, they're going to go away and not be anything? Okay.
Okay.
Fizzle or sizzle, this Cybertruck.
I believe it will, it has a great potential, especially, as it's, bulletproofed. So like,
Supposedly.
yeah.
I don't want anyone to test it out though. Just don't say it too loud.
Yeah, it have a future.
You think so? You think it does?
Yeah, like Mexico Mafia, like all the bad boys keen to have this, sexy track.
All the bad boys like the dope security folks who've been driving around in their Cybertruck as well.
People always keen to have, in the US, the culture actually love and recognize freaks.
Yeah.
And, like Elon Musk is a great example of that kind of freak who is actually not just a blah blah man, but, he really deliver what he promised.
Yeah. This is definitely delivering on something unique, very polarizing as we realize as we drive around.
Yep.
So fizzle or sizzle, the Palo Alto Network's plan to have the single cybersecurity platform for everyone. Fizzle or sizzle?
It's a good question. I don't have a single answer. A quick answer, thinking fast and thinking slow. Consolidation of the platforms makes sense. George Kurtz is doing the same. So I believe it have a future.
Okay. In 5 years' time, who will have the bigger valuation then? Palo Alto or CrowdStrike?
CrowdStrike.
You think CrowdStrike?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Their go-to-market is right. Their marketing is terrific. I don't think that, Palo Alto is, executing, that well.
Okay.
From, like sales marketing and, like being, seducing the customers.
Okay. And then similar question, but different. In 5 years' time, who will have the bigger valuation? Palo Alto or Wiz?
Obviously Palo Alto.
Why do you say obviously?
It's not for the record.
Okay. We can talk offline about that then.
Yeah.
I think it's really tough. I mean, they announced yesterday $1 billion in funding at a $12 billion valuation, but there's a long way to go to catch up to Palo. But
look, like you are absolutely right. And the thing is that, this, if you are a painkiller or vitamin, right? So the thing is that, AWS, Azure and GCP, they are the platforms. They can replace and kill anyone. Do you remember Foursquare?
Foursquare, yeah.
Yeah, to check in.
Yeah.
Facebook and others, tried to buy it.
Yeah.
They failed, so they implemented the same features quickly because it was just a feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they control the platform. The end of the story.
Okay. Fair enough. Let me ask you, what's a bigger waste of money? Buying this Cybertruck or buying a booth at BlackHat?
Buying the booth at BlackHat.
Why do you say that?
It is tangible asset.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can use it easily. It is better to grab the high value person for your future rather than just scan the random badges from people who are, just sneaking around and, grabbing your merch. It's not that efficient. So if you have a Cybertruck from marketing perspective, my respect, it is a bold move. It's terrific. I was really impressed the way how you positioned it. So my respect.
So I get to have meaningful conversations with people over 2 days.
Yep.
Whereas you're at the booth, it's very transactional. It's people just wanting their swag or stopping by and be polite, but
it is hard to do the qualification. So when you're inviting me, you do your due diligence, you're learning my potential. If you are, proactive person, so who you are dealing with and the value of that person.
Yeah.
So more targeted, personalized approach is more reasonable than the random and throwing spaghetti on a wall.
Good. All right. Thanks for that. And then last question, probably the most important question is, and I'm hoping you're plugged into the American culture stuff here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you think that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will make it through the postseason as a couple?
This is the hardest question. She's awesome.
It's incredible what she's doing.
She's very talented.
Unbelievable.
And sharp and smart, it is, but I remember Britney Spears, we were born in one day, 1984. So I believe that it will fall apart.
Oh. You're not an optimist.
I'm optimist,
but not for their relationship.
Yep, not for this specific case.
Well, we'll get lots of new songs, right? At the very least, that will come from it.
Yeah, it will be better for her career.
Yeah,
it's great motivation. It's a great way to get inspired.
Well, listen, Nazar, I've really enjoyed having you chat with me this afternoon. We've driven around. We're not that far back towards the Moscone right now. So it's been a great conversation, and I wish you every success for the rest of RSA, but also for the rest of 2024 as well.
Thank you, sir. It's a big pleasure, and it's an opportunity to have this drive with you.
Thank you.